How you doing? And thanks for tuning in to the What the Hell podcast. This podcast is dedicated to those things that drive you nuts and annoy you, and just make you say, "What the hell?" Come on in. Let's get this thing started. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Oh man, what the hell? Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another edition of the What the Hell podcast, the show about all those things that drive you nuts and annoy you. My name is Sean. I am one of your hosts. With me, all the way from the great state of Michigan, somewhere in one of the public libraries, is Man of Many Books.
I'm not in a library. This is my office.
In the library.
No.
Oh, never mind.
In my house.
I just figured for the amount of times you're always telling either one of us to shut the fuck up, that's clearly being a librarian.
Yeah, except I do it way louder than a librarian would.
Well, no, the librarian's allowed to be that loud, aren't they?
No?
No? Oh, all right. Well, then never mind.
I mean, I've been told to shut up by a librarian, but I've never been yelled at by a librarian.
That seems dumb. They should be able to have, yeah. You think they'd be the exception to the rule.
Right?
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Would that be shushing the shusher? That's a lot of shushing.
Shushing.
We're 3 minutes in. We're off the fucking rails.
It's been 3, right? Is it? Oh, yeah.
No, it's not. I overestimated. I gave you two the benefit of the doubt, but I got Mr. fucking librarian over here.
Wait, who's fucking a librarian?
Moving on. We also have this asshole.
Which one?
What does it say?
Well, you were introing the podcast, so I thought we were going to throw it to the asshole in Vegas.
There's a lot of assholes in Vegas.
Well, the one on this podcast, the co-host on this podcast.
Technically, the win today is an asshole in Vegas.
Well, asshole in Vegas, how are you?
And honestly, I mean, if you could, she has a name.
Oh, that's harsh. What did she say? I didn't hear she say something.
I figured you weren't listening.
I always know when you're talking about me.
I cannot wait to get her on an episode of the show.
Oh, well.
Oh, my God.
There went that.
Me too, because I could probably look at her and go, will you slap him? And she'll probably fucking poof.
Oh, I guarantee that'll happen. So.
Probably,
right?
It's like dealing with a petulant child. It's 12 o'clock. Now it's 12:07.
Hey, get your facts straight.
Right? God.
Quit being so anal retentive.
It's got to go somewhere.
Hey.
I'm leaving that one alone.
Right.
Anyways,
Jason, how the hell was your week this week?
Better than yours. I don't know. I have no idea if it actually was, but
I was gonna say that's a mighty big statement. I hope you have backup.
Nah.
He's like, nah, I'm just talking shit. I don't need backup.
It was still better than yours.
Nice. That's all you're gonna say about your week? That's all you got?
Yes.
How succinct of you.
What? I don't listen to NSYNC.
From that haircut, you could have fooled me.
Shots fired.
Well, from what I understand, it's going to be May.
Oh God!
It's literally May
8th. I need a groaning sound effect, but I don't have.
I was just saying May in the same respect as Sean was saying it was 7.
Man of Many Books, how was your week?
Nothing real exciting, just the usual.
Not as good as mine.
Workflow and You know what? Actually, I take that back. My week was better than most because I haven't had to put up with this fucking asshole till today.
Maybe that needs to be the episode that Lynn does, is we just ask how she puts up with Jason on a daily basis.
Well, the way he's come out the cannon or come out the box today, I swear he should be wearing like fucking footy pajamas.
That sounds fantastic.
He probably has a couple pairs. Oh,
Sorry, that
alrighty then.
Okay.
exercising a demon.
Apparently.
Apparently, a demon need a little exercising, no doubt about that.
The pineapple margarita demon.
Ah, of course. That explains a lot, actually. So, well, I guess let's jump right into it, since talking about our weeks just kind of fell flat like a motherfucker here.
Well, it probably doesn't help we're not recording at the usual time. We usually record these like Thursday evening. Tonight
That's
we're recording
Sunday.
this Sunday evening. So like I've already kind of like put last week behind me and I'm getting ready to start the new one.
Yippee!
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not excited about it, but that's why I really don't have too much to say about my week. It's just kind of like old news now.
Yeah. Plus, sounds like most of mine was uneventful. I worked.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it on a eventful week though. That means nothing crazy happened, and that's usually a good thing. So
And we're putting Jason to sleep.
I already told you I was possibly going to fall asleep. Shut up. I forewarned you.
There he is with the forewarning. So I'll have a
I
drink.
even
here.
5 warned you.
So this week's
brutal
topic.
episode.
This week's topic. You know, so many things. It's funny to me, like when you're trying to think of a topic for something that annoys you, and you're trying to like come up with stuff, right? And there's so many things that annoy us every day, and I just got to be better at writing shit down. But the thing that got on my that burned my ass just a little bit this week was a fucking group text that I'm a part of.
Okay, so just not to cut you off, but
No,
just
too late. You already did it.
well, just to interject, I will say before you even get into your point, one of the worst feelings in the world for me is to feel my phone go off and I pull it out of my pocket and I look at it and I see I'm in a new group text message with a bunch of random people because I know if I don't get out of there, my phone is not going to shut up.
Yep.
And I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Anyways, continue.
That's kind of what spurred it on, right? Like I've got a group text that I can't hate because it's like my whole team for work, right? So I got to kind of put up with that one. But like in the past, someone in my wife's family put a group text together, and it was like 15 fucking people, and then 2 or 3 of them are actually carrying on their own conversation inside the fucking group text.
And that's what makes it the worst.
And you're just going, you know, if you're at work and you can't have your phone, I'm like, someone's dying. Someone must be dying. And you look down and it's like, oh my God, did you see this picture? It was so funny.
And it's like, move it to the personal thread.
You're just like, fuck. And like the only way you can like leave a group text, I don't think Android you can, but on iPhone it had like everybody has to be on iPhone, and then you can leave that group. And it tells the rest of the group like, fuck off, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I don't care.
But I'm just like, it's there's some usefulness to it. I get it. But when you start having your own fucking conversation,
Well, yeah.
you know, if we've got I mean, we got our own, the three of us, and Jason was upset about that one, but that was not so bad because we're not having like individual conversations.
I'm upset about most interactions. It's not, you're not special. It's not specific to you.
That's fair. I'll take
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like,
I kind of feel bad not being special, but you know,
Yeah, but I can kind of agree with Jason for the most part.
Yeah.
I generally have that feeling of just like everybody just leave me the fuck alone.
I hate everybody equally. Fuck off. I just, maybe it's me because I have this thing about I don't like I have an iPhone, so I don't like the little notification things on the sides of apps. Maybe it's an OCD thing, but I don't want to see them on there.
Well, no, because I'm the same way, and I wouldn't say I have OCD, but I mean, I've learned there are two types of people: people with fucking 900 unread text messages and 1,400 emails they haven't read,
Yeah.
and then there's people like me. I try to get rid of every text message I not get rid of, but at least read so I don't have the notification.
Yeah.
You know, I run a tight inbox. That's just the way I would like to do things.
I would agree with that. There was a friend I was hanging out with. This was years ago at a winery, and for some reason I had her phone. I don't remember what, but there was like it was one of those expressions where I didn't even know the number went that high
Mhm.
because it was like four. I think it might have been 5 digits. Might have been like 10,000 or something. And I'm going, I didn't even know the little bubble. I don't know it
Mhm.
went that high.
Right.
That's a big bubble.
I'm like, how the hell? I get
At
annoyed.
at that point, it's got to be a matter of pride. Like, no, fuck it. I'm just gonna let this thing grow as long as I can.
I get annoyed at the fact that, like, I mean, just by itself. So, like, Words with Friends, depending on when you're playing, whatever, even if you're playing against people or whatever, it potentially leaves like a notification up because you can play a game with like the computer or so it leaves like that one up. And I'm like, I already fucking played all my games. Why is there still
Yeah.
I want the number to go away.
Go away. Go away.
Won't go away. And yeah. So no, I'm right there with you with the notification bubbles. I'm like, no, I don't want.
Mm.
I don't like them.
It's the dumbest it's the dumbest thing to get annoyed about. But like that, or if I'm playing Call of Duty and it's giving me a notification that I've got some kind of weapon or upgrade that I can do, it's got that little green dot, and then you try and go find it and you fucking can't, and it's still there. It's annoying.
Mhm.
But this thing with the group text.
Well, kind of ties in with, I mean, depending on where you're getting the message from, whether it's
Yeah.
Facebook or like a regular text. I mean, there's been times for, what was it? It was some kind of, well, because I flew her home for her birthday last year. So in November, we went back to Ohio to hang out with, so I created one of those little Facebook groups with most of the people who were going to be involved and whatever else. And we're kind of doing the thing. And then it devolved into everybody having their own conversations. So where if you ignored your phone for 10 minutes, you had like 30 different notifications. I'm like,
That's not the
No.
purpose of this.
it's like,
Do you fucking people work?
I want to leave my own group.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm the founder and admin. I'm out.
It's like I started the damn thing, and it's like you talk amongst yourselves. Let me know when I get back to Ohio what you want me to do, because no.
Why is that okay?
well, because maybe it just doesn't annoy people as much as it does the three of us. I don't know.
I have to just, it's got to, maybe not as bad, but it's got to annoy everybody.
Oh, I would imagine it does.
But like I'm saying, why bless you. Why is it okay? Are we just that oblivious that we don't realize it's like, hey, you're having your own conversation inside another conversation.
Okay.
So it's like, I mean, are we doing the whole Deadpool breaking the fourth wall thing here in the middle of that shit?
See, no, I don't think it's that. Because here's the difference, right? Because like we said, the three of us, we have a group text. Mostly for the most part, I would say it's probably about 98% about this podcast and, when we're going to do it and all that. Now, say Sean, me and you, or Jason, you and Sean, or even me and Jason started going off on a separate tangent and having our own fucking conversation. The other one that's not in that conversation is going to real quickly be like, hey guys, move it to the personal thread. Like, this is fucking annoying. Whereas if you do that to somebody else, you're the asshole.
Yeah, maybe that's part of it. Especially if it's a fucking family group text, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if it winds up being a family group text and you got to
Yep.
be like, hey, I don't
I
need this
luckily-
many fucking notifications. I'm
luckily-
working.
Yeah, I luckily have never really had that as far as
Oh,
as far as family ones. Like I think she does between like her parents or two brothers, but we've never had one for. I mean,
Oh, now I'm just going to have to challenge.
part of that would
I'm going to have to challenge all 5 of our uncles just to create one just for you guys.
no.
I'll block a number.
Block every single one of you.
Yeah.
I mean,
not
besides,
I'm not
Yeah.
shy with the block button.
No. Actually, hell, I think mom and dad do have one with like his brothers because with taking care of the grandparents and
Oh, yeah.
and,
Yeah.
like no,
Yeah.
because I think I've heard the exact same argument or the exact same complaint,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, where all of a sudden like two of the brothers are fighting between the two of them, but it's still in the group thing, and
Yeah.
you're kind of like, okay, we get it. Okay, it's fine. You got to stick up your ass. It's a family trait. It's fine.
Well, if you want to argue or fight or have a conversation, that's fine. This ain't the thread to do it.
Yeah.
Mm.
I just wonder, as I have several times on the show when we talk about annoying stuff, where it just became okay. Where it just became like, hey, this is cool. I'm gonna do it. Fuck you and your feelings. Where we
Okay.
became such inconsiderate fucks as a population.
I don't even think it's so much that. I think it's just the phone has become such an ingrained part of your day and how you spend your free time that I'm sure a lot of people don't mind it as much as the three of us do, because the three of us also do things that don't involve our phones and, just
Yeah.
constantly.
Well, it would probably depend on the setting too, because I mean, if you're talking, okay, if you're talking someone in like, okay, the business that I'm in for an advertising agency, or if you're
Mhm.
talking to, let's say like a movie studio or whatever the hell else, I'm sure there's, oh my God, those got to have to be like way worse.
Oh, 100%.
You got to have like more than like maybe potentially like 20 people in one. And it's like,
Yeah.
no.
No, thank you.
Is that your background, TJ?
The hell is that?
My roommate's kid. Don't mind the background noise.
He's got children in prison in his Man of Many Books house.
No.
I mean,
My
whoever that
roommate-
is apparently whoever that is sounds happy. So,
Oh
hey.
yeah, he's up there having a blast right now.
Oh, well then, yeah. So,
Yeah.
there you go.
Just kids being kids, that's all. I apologize.
No apologies necessary.
Well, it wasn't even like, it was just one of the, like, you hear the noise and you go like,
You weren't expecting it.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
that's
No,
what it
I wouldn't.
was.
There's none here. I know there's none at Jason's house.
Uh-huh.
well, because I still had that, like that possible thing to go like, okay, is that like a TV here? Do I have a window open here? Because I mean, there are, there's, little gremlins walking around the parking lot every now and then, So I'm like I had that split second to go like, okay, is that coming from here?
No, that's
Oh.
my end.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's it. Sounds like he's having a good time. So
Oh
why not?
yeah,
Yeah.
he's up there having a blast.
Oh, well then, yeah,
Yeah, it's all good.
I support that.
Yeah.
As long as he's not sending a group text, then fine.
Well, he's ages away from that, hopefully. So
Okay, good. Well then, good for him then. All right, that's fine then.
It's gonna wind up having to be a fucking another like junior high class fucking cell phone etiquette. No group texting.
No, because I mean, nowadays they get them so fucking early.
Well, and at least what that wasn't even like, because obviously when the phones came out, like when the first iPhone came out and then Samsung followed and, Google and everything else, like originally, but I think like even the first iPhones, you couldn't originally send like picture messages or anything like that. It was just text messages. So there was nothing like group text. There was like a text with a photo, and it was called a multimedia.
Yeah,
or
multimedia
MMS.
message service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. MMS.
I mean, that was at least something within last decade, and it's like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. That's the old school. That's like going back to the T9 keyboard, the predictive keyboard, either that or people that refuse to do T9 that were going A, B, D, E, F, Q, 77 keystrokes to go, hey, how's it going?
Yep, that was me.
And it would have been way easier to get sick of a message like that if we still had the phones where you had to type 3 times to get to like a W or whatever. So you're like, what?
Yeah.
Stop texting. Shit, backspace. Stop texting. Shit, testing. No, texting. Stop yeah. So
See, to me, my sweet spot for texting anyway was in between the T9 or the 3 button per letter and the on-screen keyboards, because I had a BlackBerry which had the actual physical keyboard at the bottom of it. So that was my brief period where I was just like a complete monster on text messaging. Once it moved the touch keyboards, I lost it.
I still can't do this.
I used to be able to. I've never been able to do it on touch.
I still do this, but you see the people holding their phones doing this, and I'm like,
I can do that, and I'll be really good at it for a minute, and then I'll go for a period of a couple months where everything's shifted like a quarter inch to the left, and I fuck everything up, and then I got to retrain myself to move it over.
Well, I had a friend because of the where you can swipe, whether it's the predictive or whatever.
Yeah.
Swipe around a word, like I watching her, like she just have her and just is like, she might as well have been conducting an orchestra. You're like, and you're like, and she's sending text, but I'm like, how I can't remember to myself to go like, okay, so I want to go happen. Okay, let me swipe my finger around it,
Well, I mean, it's because I can do the same thing, and like I can do it, but to me it's just kind of annoying because like there's always the chance that you swipe something and it's not the intended word, then you got to fucking delete it all and try again, and you could find yourself in a loop like 3 or 4 times before it finally gets it.
Yeah.
Or how about people who actually use the speech to text, where half the time you get the wrong message because they're like talking and the thing picks up the wrong word and you're like, wait a minute, what?
Oh, the one that, because down here it's when you're driving you got to be hands free, and if you get it with CarPlay and everything else, you get the text and you can do the voice dictation. But what tends to fuck up voice dictation for some reason are synonyms. Like there, and there.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Wow.
It's always the wrong one, right? You're meaning THEIR, but it puts in THEY''RE.
That's stupid.
Or your, which no one gets right anyway. So you might as well voice dictate that fucking thing.
I mean, at least we got out of the tendency for when everybody was condensing everything. So when they type your, they were typing UR, or when they were typing, the actual number for the word. And
God, that's lazy.
Like, oh my God.
Lazy.
I'm sure it still happens with the younger generation.
Oh, I have no doubt.
But if I were to text somebody, especially this day and age, and they talk back like that to me, I would immediately go, yep, I can't talk to you. I can't talk to you. This is just never gonna work because every message you sent me, I'm gonna want to throw my phone against the wall.
We'll see, and even worse if it was in a group text.
He's got a good point there.
Oh, you put me in a group text to that?
That's
Like,
what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that would,
I'm on a manhunt that night. I'm
see?
coming to your fucking house.
I support that. I support that decision.
And number one on the list is whoever the fuck is going to be added me to the group text.
Yeah.
Well, it's
why
kind of
am
like
I-
when we were talking about it, when I said that, like, when I flew her home for her birthday and I started a group text. But it was like, you kind of go like, okay, for someone who, yeah, would typically be annoyed with that. And it's like, okay, so I started my own thing that I know I'm going to eventually get annoyed with and want to leave. And you kind of go like, fuck, how did I get to like this spot where I'm doing what, if somebody else did it to me, I'd go like, no, fuck you. But yet I'm doing it. And I'm like, no.
It's almost like you have to have a preset, template when you start a group text with the rules. Hey, you've been added to a group text. Rules of this group text. Number one, no one-to-one conversations. Take that shit elsewhere.
Any
Number
part of your
two,
conversation does not relate to the subject directly involved with creating this group, then fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
please do not add videos of little kittens to this group text.
If you send me any links to any TikToks, you are going to immediately be either shut out or killed. One of the two.
Oh, yeah,
No.
it just, I get the need for them and I like the functionality of them if the people in the group text can stay within the parameters of the group text. Right? Like,
And we all know that's not going to happen. Come on. now.
No, I mean, it might as well be the internet. It's the wild fucking west.
yeah. That's true. I've had some that are better than others.
I
But
think
that-
the best I've ever had is ours.
yeah, it's
Aw.
pretty.
Sweetie. Oh.
Well, no, I
Oh,
mean, but for the most part, I mean, there might be a little ball busting, but for the most part, is like, hey, does this work for you guys? Oh, this don't work for me. What about this? Da da da. It's straight to the point, and then when we get it figured out, it's like we go about our days.
We don't fuck around.
that is true.
We
All
got
right.
better shit to do with our time. It is a pretty good one.
That is
Like,
true.
I will give it that. And the occasional ball busting is kind of a requirement for it. So
Yeah,
It's part of the show description.
it is.
pretty much.
Should be. If it's not, I'm gonna edit it to put it in there.
See, there you go.
Jonas is we ran about shit and bust each other's balls.
But I mean, some of these ones I've been in, it's just been like, oh god, and it doesn't even like take a while to build. Like you'll get added to it, and then 25 minutes later, your phone still hasn't stopped, and it's just like, how the fuck is this happening?
It's one of the things at least I like on the iPhone is the do not disturb.
Yeah.
Give it a time limit. Started it here, ended it here, and nothing
Or just leave the group, and I don't have to fucking do that.
or that.
Like the family one I was on with the wife's family. It I think it was 15 people at least, and I don't remember what it was.
That already sounds terrible.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And yeah, and again, it didn't take long for it to get into, it may have even be like two sets of two people having individual conversations in it, right?
Oh, of course. Of course.
And then my brother-in-law, who's a super nice guy, actually sent it was the nicest, you guys are blowing up my phone and it's ridiculous, so I'm leaving the group text message I've ever read. Right? And I'm just like, man, bless you for even being the guy that's not just going, You guys are fucking nuts. Thanks a lot for blowing up my phone. I'm out.
Yeah.
Don't add me back.
Yeah. It's nah. Send me the cliff notes and bullet points later.
Yeah, I don't need to. Generally speaking, I don't think anyone really needs. I guess it's great for some people, but I can't.
Well, and again, like we
Well-
talked about, it depends on the situation. You know, sometimes I'm sure it's useful, but in a lot of family situations, I can't imagine.
Well, but it always evolves into these motherfuckers just treating it like it's a fucking AOL chat room circa 2002.
Yeah, that's what it winds up being.
Yeah. And it's like, that's not what this is. Like, every time you send a fucking message, my phone fucking vibrates. And for the last 15 minutes, you guys have been annoying the shit out of me.
Starts off as like a group happy birthday and winds up going, I wore blue underwear today.
That's great. I don't fucking care.
That's weird. So did I. Oh, oh sorry. I'm
Crazy.
getting off topic. Sorry.
That would be the one topic we haven't gotten into is our underwear. And I don't want to. I think we can leave that up to the mysteries of the universe.
Well, I got into my underwear this morning, so that's about the extent I'm going into it.
Thumbs up. Yay. You got thumbs up from the PBS 2 a.m. preacher.
I was waiting for my internet to freeze, you know.
Right, uh-oh. Someone just beamed up Man of Many Books.
No, I was sneezing. Sorry.
Yeah, when you did that, you kind of disappeared. It's like some Star Trek kidnapping shit.
Well, I was trying to not do it directly into the mic.
I'd actually appreciate that.
Say no to the anal probe. It's a trap.
Sorry about that.
It's
You would know.
a trap.
It's a trap. It's yeah, it's not gonna be fun. Don't let them convince you.
It only hurts for a second.
You know. It's only when they put it in quotes when they say non-invasive. Like, why are you air quoting that? Don't worry about
Oh God.
We have derailed. What's wrong with that? Nothing. It's not an episode of What the Hell. Even the What the Hellions at this point are expecting derailing.
it. Well, that's true.
It's probably the most entertaining part of the show.
Well, I mean, if you're coming in here looking for a tight five on the subject we choose, you're gonna be disappointed.
Seriously.
I mean, shit
That's
just
true.
happens. All three of us are the type of people that when something pops in our brains, it just kind of spills out of our mouth if we think it's funny.
Well, and Sean and I are at that age we can't help it.
I'm just about there too.
Just happens.
Yeah. That's the other thing to think about. But because it goes back into the group texting, right? You ever have to fucking like you're at work and you're getting this group text and you're getting super annoyed and have to try and explain it to somebody? Like what the fuck is going on? Because you're trying to play it cool that your phone's blowing up. Like if you're me, I'm out in the public and if I'm doing something and I've got my phone on silent, but it's
Oh, yeah.
and eventually I'm sitting there like, and at some point you want to stop everything you're doing and going, motherfucker, what the fuck? What could possibly be this fucking important?
Mhm.
Because at some point I'm gonna blow my fucking top, and with me it's probably I'm probably gonna be in public, and people are gonna be like, "What's wrong with him?"
Pretty much.
But and here's the funny part: is when I go, someone added me some fucking group text, they're gonna go, "Oh, I get it. Yeah, never mind. You're cool.
Yeah. Probably.
I get it. You're good."
Yeah.
But we all been there. Bless you.
Well,
Ay.
I mean, for me especially, that ranks up there, especially being at work. Because like you brought up earlier, when you feel your phone start to go off that much, your mind instantly goes, something's wrong. something's really wrong.
Oh, of course. Of
Yeah.
course.
But then it inevitably, you kind of go, okay, my phone went off like crazy, but yet it hasn't rang yet. So if something's that wrong, my phone's going to ring. So obviously there's nothing that wrong.
Right.
True.
So then you inevitably pull out your phone and you see all the bullshit. And then you see yourself get called out because it's like, why haven't you responded?
Oh, that's the worst.
Because it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday. I'm at work. I can't always pull my fucking phone out to respond.
Good point.
That's the worst. When someone's busting your balls for not responding because apparently they have nothing they need to be doing at that point and are offended because they've immediately gone, oh, I'm not important enough for so-and-so to respond to me.
No, it's not that, motherfucker. I'm out here trying to pick up a paycheck.
Yeah. But that's where their head goes.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, that context of, oh yeah, there was, oh God, somebody I was talking to, this was years ago. So I was driving, so I was in Ohio, but I was in about an hour south of Cleveland. But at the time I was doing temp to hire stuff. So I was driving to Cleveland every day. So I've spent 3 hours in the car every day. So,
Hey,
and driving a Jeep. So I was also filling up the car every 2 days.
Right.
And, I was talking to somebody at the time. And at one point, we're having a conversation while I'm at this place because, I don't actually work for this place. This is like a temp to hire, I'm like,
yeah.
kind of,
Yeah.
doing whatever to try to fill some space and whatever. And what was it? It was at that point where you were getting messages like, oh, you're being awfully quiet right now. And I'm like, I got a fucking job. Like, we've had a conversation where where I drive I just spent an hour and a fucking half in my goddamn car to get to this place that I don't actually work for, but I'm, still trying to collect a paycheck from. So, obviously I don't want to like walk in and go, oh, sorry, I gotta go
Yeah.
have a conversation. I'll be back in a little bit. And then to get like that shit where they go, oh, you're awfully quiet. Well, yeah, I'm fucking quiet today. I'm trying to collect a goddamn paycheck.
I'm working.
Yeah. Well, and it's always surprising that context that like, okay, you work too. We're both working. So how does it not like pop into your brain that like we're both working? So depending on where we're working, I mean, maybe you've got plenty of time during your day. I have no idea, but
See, that's that thing right there, that expected time to reply thing.
that's self-awareness that people don't have to
Yep.
go, I
Yeah.
it work and thing have to do thing to make money to be able to pay for the phone that I'm messaging you on, to be able to potentially possibly ignore you
Exactly.
while not ignoring you because I'm trying to work to pay for the, yeah, shut up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that part, that's what makes it even worse, right? It compounds the fucking problem and especially in a group text situation where if someone's trying to make a fucking decision and puts this out in the group text in the wrong time and they want your input and everybody else has put input in there and then everyone's jumping on your shit for not responding, like, well, we can't do anything until TJ says so. So TJ, what's going on? And then, yeah, TJ, what's going on? Hey, TJ, are you not getting these messages? TJ, when you have a second, would you let us know what the hell you think? And it just goes
Yeah.
on.
Come on,
then-
TJ, put the
yeah.
book down and answer us.
No, but this is why, like, so if you guys want to have that decision and not have the self-awareness, that's fine. But don't poke the bear. Like, you can't be surprised when you want to lay that all on me and I come back with, motherfuckers, I was working. Give me fucking a few minutes. I had 13 Hindu people watching me load their loved one in a machine. I can't exactly pull my fucking phone out. Like, I will be flat out and tell you the nitty gritty of what I was fucking doing. I don't care.
See, at that point, I want to figure out, number one, they're going on blast. Like, to your point right there, I'm fucking working. Sorry, I don't get to respond in your fucking time frame. But at that point, I would put the entire fucking group text on blast, and I would send my response one word at a time.
Yeah, but in this day and age, with like the way that like a lot of that kind of shit goes, and the way that a lot of people react to that, it's like, even if he went off like that, which you are well within, I fully support going off like that in a situation like that. But like in today's world, you get the thing where like, well, why? I mean, why couldn't you though? I mean, that's just we needed an answer, and because it blah 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 blah. Like again, there is such a drastic absence of like self-aware. I mean, it's not just necessarily just in text messages, but just overall, where somebody goes. I mean, let's not even get into the idea that if somebody actually texted part of that in a group, wanting to make a decision in the middle of the fucking day.
Yeah.
Where's the self-awareness where that person doesn't get in trouble for for sending it in the first place?
And something like that is always a last minute decision that already should have been fucking made.
Well, because if TJ goes off, obviously he's going to be the quote unquote asshole for yelling in the group text and doing whatever. And it's like, what about the moron that tried to have a decision made right in the middle of the workday? It's like, why are they not getting at least a tiny bit of shit for that?
Yep. Yeah, where's the backup on that shit?
Well, yeah, because it's just like, and that's the other thing is this thing that, because I get this often, because I don't know about you two, but like, I'm not like, and I'm not saying like, oh, I never used my phone, but like, I'm usually, especially if I'm home, I'm not really super glued to my phone. Like, I'm usually doing something else. So a lot of times, like, I'll miss messages or I'll miss calls, and it's not like I'm doing it on purpose. Like, I've never picked up my phone, looked at a message and went, I'm not responding to that, or I'm not answering this call. It's just, I get caught up. Sorry, my nose is
Understandable.
running. Ugh.
You better catch it. Okay, never mind. I don't know. Hold on. What's the one about the refrigerator running?
Yeah.
Somebody called about the refrigerator running. You better catch it.
But anyway, so I don't know what this perception is that everybody seems to have, that like, if you don't respond right away or you don't answer the phone call, that you're either like mad at them, ignoring them, or just being a dickhead. Like, no, sorry, I was just busy.
Or they're not, that person's not important to you.
No, it's not that. I'm just busy.
Yeah.
I've actually probably even had it more often around here, because even, depending on where I'm going hiking, not a lot of cell reception.
Yeah.
There's been quite a few times, even in some of the ones that like we've done for, to set everything up. It's like, I don't even see it until not even like, depending on where I'm going, like in the parking lot, nothing. But then depending on how high either or wherever I'm climbing or, whatever, then all of a sudden I'll get like a quick signal, but then it disappears too quickly to be able to actually respond. But then I can't do anything until I get back to the car and get back to the city, because and it's like, okay, but yeah, no, like, because well, it was actually kind of funny that like the one, speaking of at least the idea of cell reception out there, I don't think I ever shared the story. There was one time I was out mountain biking. This is related to messages, but not related to group messages. If we can, I'm going to go off on a tangent.
It's all linked.
Why don't you go off on a tangent? Let's do a tangent.
I'm going to go off on a tangent.
Just
God
go.
damn it.
We never do
That's
that.
another sound effect I need, a tangent sound effect. We'll use
What
the
the hell
record
first?
scratch.
What about the crickets?
The crickets.
There we go. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, I was out on a bike ride, and shitty cell reception depending on where you're at, whatever else. So I stopped because catch my breath, riding a bike, get off the bike, and I took my phone out. I'm glad I actually did. Like, at one point, I was on one of those things where I stopped while I was riding. I'm like, oh, let me take a cool picture of where I'm at. Yeah. But when I picked up my phone, it said something about a message that didn't send. I'm like, I didn't send a fucking message. What the fuck are you talking about? Somehow, because my phone was in the like a pack behind the seat on the bike and whatever else. I hit the button combination to send out an emergency SOS.
Oh shit.
So
To who?
my parents,
Oh.
they were according on my phone, they were the emergency
Yeah.
contact. So I'm like picking up my phone and I'm like, what the fuck? Because it's like it's sending it's trying to send a text to them while also sending them my coordinates
Mhm.
through like Google. I'm like, fuck. So I hop off the bike and I'm just walking along the path now to go like, okay, I gotta wait till I pick up cell reception again to at least call mom to go like, no.
Everything's fine.
good.
Everything's
I'm
fine.
good.
I promise. Yeah, I
It's
promise.
But it's like, oh god damn it. But it just ties in with like the cell reception thing there where I'm like, the fuck it, like if I hadn't for some reason picked up my phone or took it out of the pack behind the bike, it's like, oh, I could have been riding along and it just would, I could have gotten done with my bike ride and there could have been a goddamn ambulance at my Jeep because my fucking phone
Oh, you could have had an ambulance,
Oh, yeah.
sent a
cop,
text, sent a
fucking
text to mom and
fire
dad.
truck, search party.
Like, oh god.
And then you would have got
damn
the bill for that motherfucker too.
Yeah.
on top
Oh
of
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I said,
$6,000 for the ambulance I didn't need.
but that's what I mean. It kind of ties in with the idea that, like, okay, depending on what you're doing, depending on cell reception, depending on whatever, who the hell knows?
Yeah. In your
And-
case, you're lucky.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I did actually, I caught it enough because I'm walking along. I'm walking along. I got the phone in my hand. I'm just kind of going like, okay, I come over here, cell reception, call, and call the house. And then of course, because mom and dad, they have something on their phone, you have to dial a number to prove you're not a telemarketer. So of course I'm like,
It's so great.
fuck. It's like, so it picks up and I'm like, mom, and it goes dial 8. I'm like, fuck. It's just gonna do the thing and like dial the 8 and pick up why do I have to prove I'm not a telemarketer? It should just recognize my number. God damn it.
You would think they could do that this day and age.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They
Actually, no,
probably can, but that's the $15.99 month.
That's
A month
true.
plan.
That's true. That's true.
They're only on the $10.99 a month.
That's probably true.
Gotta
But yeah.
love it.
Well,
Technology, so great when it works.
but no, that's the thing that at least tying in. I mean, whether self signal or whatever else, but the self awareness in sending texts to kind of I don't know what happened. Like TJ said, that this idea that instantaneous, like what would it be like? What is it called? Like instant gratification?
Yeah,
or-
instant gratification.
Oh yeah.
yeah, something like that. And
Yeah.
it's like, no, why?
Like when I send a text message, I send it with the mentality of like, I'm putting this out there. They'll get it when they get it, and I'll get a response when I get a response. Sometimes it might be 30 seconds later. Sometimes it might be an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care. Sometimes it's not at all. I don't care. It doesn't hurt my feelings any. It's not going to damage a friendship or anything like that. Like, it's a text message. Life goes on.
No, and the best part is depending on who you're sending it to, like, okay, so say if it's like one of the three of us, then we just give each other shit about it.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be it.
Don't have to get into full butt hurt mode.
No.
It doesn't ruin anything. It doesn't fuck
No.
anything up. It doesn't hurt feelings. You're just kind of like, listen, jackass. What was it? Well, here, there was one of the days that we were talking about the subject or whatever else, and I was hiking.
Mm.
And I hadn't got the thing, and Sean did one of those like, well, hey, what do you think? And I'm like, well, once I'm done and kind of, like I didn't send it to be a jerk. Like, well,
Yeah.
once I'm done hiking, I can answer you. But
Yeah. It's just the reality of the situation.
yeah, there was no butt hurt. There was no, it was kind of like, no, I'll be done. And kind of
Yeah.
like the
Cool.
thing.
Let us know when you're done hiking.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's it too.
Don't twist an ankle.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Like I said today, with Jesus, walking around today where the wind's so fucking strong that the sand that it's blowing around fucking hurts.
So
Ooh,
Jesus.
ooh,
so this
no
thing
bueno.
happened. This thing happened to me yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Now what happened to me today? Stop taking stop stealing my thunder.
Well, no, I'm just
Oh,
I'm
okay.
pony. I'm doubling on because
Oh,
you
okay.
had the
All right.
wind thing.
Never
You know,
mind.
it's finally nice down here. Didn't have any rain, so it's like, oh, let's jump on the Harley and go for a ride. And that wasn't going to be a long ride, and I didn't feel like changing clothes and shit. So one of the few times I went riding on my bike with fucking shorts on. Big fucking mistake.
Oh boy.
Huge, giant fucking mistake. Like, not preface, didn't drop the bike or anything like that. Riding along.
And can I pause you for a second?
Pause.
I'm still here. I'm still listening, but I'm going to mute my microphone real fast because I have to blow my nose like crazy. So I'm going
Feel
to
free.
I'm going to step away from the camera just for like a minute.
We will enjoy your books.
All right, continue.
Exactly. So, you know, riding and my right calf, you know, your feet are down there by the fucking engine. I'm like, damn, the fucking engine's hot. Ride for a little bit longer. Fuck, that engine's really fucking hot.
Hmm.
Keep going. And at some point, I'm going, okay, I feel like the sun is reflecting off the chrome and fucking lasering my fucking calf. Like, god damn. So stop at a gas station. I'm like, oh man, get something to drink, pour some water. And I'm like, okay, this ride is officially over. We're turning around and going back. And of course, still got to go all the way back, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
So fucking riding along, and it's fucking hot. And I'm going, oh my god, you know, just thinking to myself, am I that big of a wuss or something really wrong? And at one point, thank God I've got a touring bike that's got, you know, the little panels on the front. And at one point I'm riding, you know, with my fucking foot up here.
Oh yeah.
I can't get it on camera, but I'm, you know, I'm riding with my right leg out like this instead of on the floorboards. I'm like, fuck, it fucking hurts. So get back to the house. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna rinse off real quick. Fucking look down at my calf and there's a piece of skin hanging off. It was so fucking hot. I had a fucking blister that fucking big that exploded.
Jesus.
Fucking, I guess I was low enough on oil that it was just hot. Because when I checked it, it wasn't like dry, right? But it was like, hey,
Yeah.
you might want to add some fucking oil. But it was hot because the blister was at least this, and then I didn't touch it or anything, so it was hot enough that even the blister fucking exploded.
Good.
So I was basically cooking my calf.
Oh well, I mean, you know,
Like, damn.
it is Texas.
It's like, Jesus Christ, that's fucking horrible.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I knew that there was, you know, going to be they give you wind warnings here, you know, depending on the day.
Right.
But I hadn't been out for a few days just because, you know, between some stuff with work, and I mean, it was windy yesterday, but it's like, I can't go out tomorrow because the Jeep's going in to get fixed. So I'm not going to have a car and blah, 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 blah. So I went out today, even though there was a wind advisory. But I mean, even with the wind advisories, it's never ridiculously bad.
Mhm.
I mean, I've been out before where it's been windy, but so I'm like walking around and, you know, I'm doing all this and climbing on this and hiking here and doing whatever. And, you know, the wind would pick up and all this, I'm like standing there and I'm like, the fuck, why does this hurt? And it, like, the wind had picked up enough. It was blowing, it was obviously picking sand up because,
Yeah.
I mean, if you look on the horizon, I mean, everything was visibility
Grainy
was
and-
shit. Yeah,
yeah.
visibility was shit, but it picked up enough that it's like, the fucking sand hurt, as it was like picking it up and throwing it around. I'm like, well, okay, well, might be time to go home now because I didn't sign up to get sandblasted.
Might help you get rid of some of the tattoos you didn't want.
Well, you know, I was kind of hoping. I'm like, yeah, I mean, if it's gonna do it, I mean, you know, might as
Right.
well get some use out of it. But no, of course not.
If you're talking, TJ, we can't hear you. I saw your mouth moving. I think you're still muted.
I said you have fun with your skin grafts.
What is it when they do some of those on the TV shows where they're like, oh, they rebuilt his nose with a section of his ass. And you're like, wow. Sure,
Oh yeah,
that's-
it's usually when someone gets burned real bad.
what was it? There was something about oh, who the hell is it? Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker.
Uh-huh.
There's something about however there was something going on with his nose when they rebuilt it or something like that, that it was like between like some of the movies or something, you can tell like something looks a little bit different because something happened to him. I thought it was an accident or something like that.
I don't remember.
But at some point he had gotten something reconstructed.
Well, I mean, if you got to do it, you got to do it. I'm not a real stickler about that anyway. So, I mean, he still looks
yeah.
like Mark Hamill
yeah.
to me.
He had his
yeah,
hand,
yeah.
He had his hand reconstructed.
Ah,
I mean, you want to talk about skin grafts? Let's talk about his dad.
Oh, nice one.
that's a good point. They got that new Obi-Wan show coming out.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I'm not missing any of that. Did you finish Moon Knight?
I have.
What'd you think?
I was very pleasantly like because it just wasn't as like straightforward as just, you know, oh, superheroes fighting bad guys and doing, you know, like the variety and like the way that they did some of his identities and everything else was very like it had enough jumping around. It was kind of like it kept your interest.
Yeah, it was definitely different than anything else. It was great.
That was definitely one of the ones at the end where I was like, okay, because there's like no confirmation yet of a season 2, and you're like, well, that's definitely one I would.
The hint there was a hint out there because originally it was listed as series finale, but before it aired, it changed to season finale.
Okay, yeah. See, I kind of wondered about that because some of the TV shows, depending on the ones for Disney, have said season finale when it's actually the end. Like WandaVision said season finale, and you're like, no, there was never going to be a second season of that. So I saw the same thing too when it said the season finale, and I'm like, oh yeah, I watch another season of that.
Yeah, that was really
as long as they keep that dynamic where it's, you know, a little bit of that variety, and yes.
Well, I mean, we're at a day and age where if it's going to keep making them money, they're going to put out another season.
True.
And that's the one thing that Marvel has gotten right. Like Marvel really hasn't had a swing and a miss yet. Like the worst, quote unquote, worst Marvel movie is probably Thor 2.
As far as reviews go, the worst is Eternals.
Yeah, but I think even Eternals was a decent movie.
Yeah, Eternals was okay, but
it's better than Thor 2.
It was the worst, quote unquote, the worst reviewed movie.
See, but if you honestly, in my opinion, no, like, yeah, Sean, you're right. They haven't really swung and missed. Because a lot of the properties that they've used are kind of hard to swing and miss on. Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, the Avengers. Now we're starting to get into this period where there's going to be these lesser known superheroes. So I think there's going to be more of an opportunity for Marvel to swing and miss.
Yeah.
Oh, it's possible. I still can't, like, at least with what they're talking about, because I mean, obviously with them acquiring Fox, I mean, they can at least fix what was wrong with all that shit.
Yeah.
Which wasn't all misses with like a lot of that, but there were a few, at least as far as the X-Men go, where you're like, no, that's
well, as like
I'm so intrigued by what they're sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
I'm so intrigued by what they're gonna do with at least bringing in the X-Men. Well, they've already announced, not with a date, but they already announced Fantastic Four.
Well, and then I saw Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness Friday night. It's great, for the record. Definitely different than any other Marvel movie, and plays, if you like Doctor Strange and know a little bit about how fucking weird that comic really actually is.
Oh yeah.
It's literally in the name.
It's right there, right? The movie is right there, and again, for you wouldn't be able to tell that it's the same guy that directed Tobey Maguire in the first three Spider-Man movies.
Oh
It's-
yeah.
Sam Raimi did it, but he's known for his horror. So this to me is a horror movie set in the Marvel universe.
Well, that was the way that Kevin shit.
Feige.
I can never remember how to pronounce his last name.
Feige.
Feige. He actually when they first announced Multiverse of Madness, they actually were even calling it that it would actually be more horror than it was superhero. So I'm actually glad to at least see some of that.
It was good. It was really good. You guys have all seen the previews, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'm not spoiling anything because everybody knows Patrick Stewart's in it as Professor X.
Oh yeah.
His voice is unmistakable in the trailer, which threw everybody off.
Well, they had that
was that Super Bowl night.
They had that one clip when he was like going by on that
on the yellow hover chair.
Yeah, what looked like the wheelchair from the animated series.
Yeah.
And see, the funny part is Jason brought up X-Men earlier, and I was literally had the thought. I was like, man, I wonder like if they could have the old cast from the old movies, but like make them today. Just how much better they would have been.
Oh, who knows what they're gonna do? But the fact that because there is other I won't spoil it. There's other cameos in the movie that people have wanted that I won't spoil.
I think I know one of them. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
But going back to the original point, to be able to pull in and fix like the first two X-Men were pretty good. After that, 3 was not good. Days of Future Past was really good.
That was good.
And then like first class was pretty good, so when it started, getting into some of that, it kind of went sideways. Being able to do that now and try and figure it out, to me, is the way they need to go, and where not only can they can swing and miss hard, even with X-Men, right? Because who the fuck, seriously, who's gonna want to touch Wolverine after Hugh Jackman?
Yeah,
and I've read a couple things about the person that's supposedly in active talks right now, and I'm going, I don't know.
Well, see, yeah, I don't know.
Well, I understand that and that's why I brought up the cast point is like, because obviously, like, I feel like if they were made today with the cast from back then, it would have been a whole lot better. And I'm not like shitting on it by any stretch. I enjoyed those movies. I genuinely did.
I mean, I think most of the original cast was great. I think Marsden was great as Cyclops. I think Halle Berry was good as Storm, all that shit.
But I think like the bar that Marvel has set for themselves, especially with Phase 1, like Phase 1 set a huge bar. Like
for sure.
People are just gaga about Marvel movies.
Oh yeah.
So for like, if you come out with X-Men and like Sean, you talk about like, oh, they can take a big swing and miss and it won't matter. Like, I think it would matter.
No, that in that case it would matter.
Because like,
yeah.
For Marvel to shit the bed at this day and age, that's gonna make everybody go, whoa.
And I think you're right, to the point where they've taken very little known characters like Eternals, like Guardians of the Galaxy, and I mean, people love Guardians of the Galaxy. No one knew who the fuck any of them were.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
Shang-Chi.
There's another one.
A great fucking movie.
That was a great movie. But yeah, and that's the thing about them turning it around, because again, I had heard of Guardians of the Galaxy, but like those two movies, just nailed it as far as like, I mean, whether you actually knew them or not, like I don't even necessarily for lack of a better phrase, like give a shit about the comic versions. It's like
Yeah.
for what that they generated in the actual movies, I'm like, okay, that's
Yep.
that's pretty good.
So last thing I read was that the kid from Kingsman is in official talks to do Wolverine.
Oh, Taron
Edgerton or whatever. Yeah.
Egerton, or yeah, I saw something. Well, the only okay, I mean, if you want to go the purist route as far as Wolverine goes, Jackman was not. I mean,
He's
he's at least a foot taller. You know, he was. You know, there was, but
Okay,
but
hold
he
on.
actually. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, never mind the purist route. Like, this is just gonna have to be one of those superhero roles. Like, eventually, somebody's gonna have to take it over.
Yep.
Look at all the Batmans. You know, look at all the Supermans, the Spider-Mans. Like, eventually, somebody else is gonna have to be able to step into this role.
for
Like,
sure.
I might not be okay with it at first. Like when Robert Pattinson got announced for Batman, I wasn't all that thrilled about it. I wasn't like one of those guys out here protesting, but I was like, that's a weird choice, but I wonder what they're going to do with it. So
Everyone said the same thing for Batfleck.
well, if for whoever gets announced for Wolverine, even if I go, oh, that's kind of weird, I'll still give him a chance.
Oh, for sure.
Well, hell, by the time that they did the whole thing with Affleck for Batman, I was very pleasantly surprised by him as Batman.
He was the
Like-
best part of it.
Like watching him and like I'm like, okay, I don't hate this at all. Like, and weirdly enough, one of the things that, at least besides being surprised by it, one of the things that that I at least laughed about was because he actually had whatever Alfred was working on with the actual voice changer in
Yeah.
the helmet. So
Yeah,
he wasn't
perfect.
going blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. That to me was pure movie genius.
Well, because Bale did a good job. Like,
Yeah.
I like
Oh,
the Dark Knight trilogy.
See,
but-
and that's me. Like for me, my favorite Batmans are the Nolan trilogy. So when
but the
Affleck
the
I-
growling was
hated it, and then by the end of Dark Knight Rises, it had grown on me.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Oh,
the
yeah.
way it was.
oh yeah,
But
like, yeah.
But again, it made sense for the story because you got a public figure. Everyone's seen Bruce Wayne on TV, and
Oh, yeah.
wow, you sound a lot like Bruce Wayne. No, I don't.
Yeah, but where I was going with that, even when they announced Affleck, like you guys were just saying, like it was pleasantly surprising. Even when they announced, like I'll freely admit, I was one of those guys that was just like, no, it's gonna suck.
yeah.
It's gonna
Oh, so
suck.
was
So was I.
Why? Because I was so in love with Christian Bale and the Nolan series that I was like, nothing's gonna beat that. But I mean, it was a different direction, and that's
And
okay.
And I said the same thing for Pattinson for this last one,
Mhm.
and he pulls it off. He does. To me, he doesn't pull off any Bruce Wayne scenes, but he pulls off Batman.
No.
I think they're building to that.
But the other side of that, though, with Affleck, the only thing that was kind of off about that is, I mean, fuck, did he kill a lot of people?
Yeah.
And you kind of go, I mean, that's one of the kind of the staples of Batman.
So they kind of went out the door, huh?
Well,
Yeah,
that's where
that
that's
was
where
quick.
Snyder. That's where Snyder went wrong in all of his quote unquote DC universe. Like
Oh,
he wanted to get to, for lack of a better phrase, he wanted to get too heady in both movies. Like Man of Steel was all about, okay, this guy finds out he's all alone and then he's not all alone, and how would the people of Earth react, and then he literally kills what's left of his Kryptonian people. I'm like, yeah, no one gives a fuck about what's going on in his head.
well, to me, it's just pure and simple. That dude is just way too far up his own ass.
Yeah. Snyder's trying to take popcorn movies and make them too thinky.
but
Bro, you're not putting this out at Sundance. Let's have a little fun here.
Yeah.
well, and I mean, if you kind of go, which if you analyze, obviously, if you analyze movies too much, I mean, you're going to find, spots of logic where you go, wait, that doesn't really, because like, okay, so like Man of Steel, where Zod's doing his thing, and Superman ends up like snapping his neck, and you're like, okay, but he was already shooting the beam out of his eye. So in the direction you snapped his neck, wouldn't he have cut those people in half potentially anyway? Or why would you, and so, and again, you kind of go, okay, but yeah, there's this. And of course it's a movie.
Yeah.
But you're like, but wait, he was already doing the thing, and then he turned his head, and then he was doing the thing. And then if you're holding his head, why couldn't he? But yeah,
Yeah.
See, I've never watched movies like that. Like maybe on like a third or fourth time watching a certain movie, I might see that. But generally, like on a first watch through of a movie, it's mostly like, oh, that was cool.
Oh
Popcorn.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she and I will have those conversations depending on the show, where, obviously where a character on a show does something that is totally illogical, and you go,
Mm.
why the
Yeah.
fuck? Why do people walk through their houses with the lights off? When
Let's
they
go
hear
hide
somebody,
behind the chainsaws.
Yeah, like the
know,
commercial.
when you hear somebody downstairs in your house and you're going down to investigate, why did you leave the lights off? That's kind of. So yeah, I mean, it's one of the, obviously it's supposed to be illogical because
Mhm.
it's a TV show.
Well,
But maybe-
I'll say that, Marvel's got a lot of opportunity. The one thing that they need to fix, bless you, they've announced their intention to, because Fantastic Four has been a train wreck for
Oh,
years.
God, yeah.
Like the first one, it was okay.
It was hokey, but it was okay.
I didn't hate it. The second one had a lot of potential and shit the bed hard. And I don't even want to get into the fucking
Oh, that reboot?
train wreck of a fucking reboot.
No, yeah,
that they-
that reboot. No,
Is so bad. So
the reboot was terrible.
Yeah, so I mean, this is something that's been obviously public knowledge for years and years and years. Can I say one thing that I think Marvel needs to fix?
sure.
Can we stop giving away most of the fucking movie in the 3 fucking trailers that you want to release?
They've gotten better at it. It does. I will say this: the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness trailer does not give away the whole fucking movie anywhere
Like-
near it.
And that's fine. Like, if you want to do like do a good trailer, but like some of the ones that they've put out, like you'll see the movie and it's just like I pretty much got the gist of this in the
Yeah.
fucking trailer.
And that's when they start putting out, like, it's not even that they do that, but by the time, because let's say they put out a teaser and then 2 full-length trailers, but then they start putting out clips and TV ads, and when you piece all that together, it's the first 30 minutes of every fucking movie.
Well, and because I'm sitting here going, like, at this point, it's 2022. You're Marvel. People are gonna see your shit. You don't need to do all this.
That's
Sure.
also why they didn't put out a Doctor Strange trailer, or no, a Thor trailer, the Thor Love and Thunder,
Mhm,
which just barely came out, and the movie's what, 3 months, 2 months away from coming out,
Oh
mhm.
yeah,
and people were fucking in uproar over it. Like, there's no trailer, there's no trailer. Like, yeah, I think that's on purpose. I
That's
think it's on
fine.
fucking purpose.
God forbid you go to a movie and be surprised.
Yeah, the in front of Doctor Strange is the new trailer for the next Avatar movie.
Oh wow, they're finally getting
not-
around to that.
Not Avatar the Airbender, the Blue People,
Yeah,
which
Oh,
comes
I-
out in December, and it looks amazing.
I've heard rumblings recently about it, so I kind of figured it was coming
They
sooner
they
than later.
they screened it at CinemaCon recently, but I can confirm I saw it Friday.
Cameron did that one too, right?
Yep. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
well,
Apparently he
filmed-
shot. They supposedly shot the next 2 back to back.
Oh wow.
And it looks great. Yeah, I saw I was at the 3D show, so I got to see the whole 3D. It looks great. It looks like it's going to be fucking badass.
Well, and one of those, I mean, you kind of go like, okay, it was a great movie.
Mhm.
But you also kind of have to go like, okay, for the amount of time that it's been between that, because it like what didn't it overtake Titanic as far as like the
Oh, yeah.
big
Yeah.
whatever, yeah.
Yeah, and then Avengers took it, and then something else
Yeah,
took
but then
that.
but you kind of have the question to go like, okay, and how many people are gonna for this it being this long, how many people are gonna be like ridiculously excited about it? If you'd have put it out within like a normal sequel time frame kind of thing,
So
you know,
yeah,
but how many people
Avatar.
are going to be? Which I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. I have no idea.
Avatar came out in 2009.
I was gonna say, I want to say it was like 2010, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
2009. So it's going to be a full 13 years between original and sequel.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder, like, one, what was the holdup, and two, especially what was the holdup with how wildly fucking popular that movie was at one
Oh
point.
yeah.
Technology, and because it's a lot of underwater shit.
Oh,
It's,
there was.
it's all about water and all this. All the actors had to learn how to fucking free dive and were holding their breath for 8 minutes at a time. It's fucking crazy. But again, that I'm sorry, if you can't unlock a really good fucking movie in 13 years, right? I mean, that's like everyone going, okay, release the Snyder cut of Justice League, which you did, and I watched it, and it was better, but it was also 6 hours long
Oh yeah.
or 4 hours. How long was it? 6 hours or 4 hours?
That was somewhere around there.
It was a long fucking movie, and I'm going, well, if you can double or triple your runtime, you better make a good fucking movie out of it.
Oh yeah.
That's also another trend I'd like to cut. Can
Yeah.
we like get back to like 2 hours, 2 hours 20 is like a runtime, just in
No.
general?
No, everything's.
You may not.
Remember when everyone was freaking out over Lord of the Rings being 3 hours long,
It's a good point.
and now most everything is a minimum 2:30.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not counting the 47 minutes of trailers.
Well, that, but like, even like going back to Batman, like, I love The Dark Knight Rises. I know not everybody did. I did, but
Good movie.
even if I want to go back and watch that, I have to like stop myself and be like, this is gonna be a long fucking haul here, dude. So like, and maybe it's just me being an old man, but like
No, that's
I don't want a movie to take up like half of my day.
well, because it's an attention span thing. I mean, obviously, you're already. I mean, most of us are pre-programmed for a movie to be around 2 hours or less.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
of course, I mean,
Yeah,
depending on
all the comedies were 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're sitting there and it's kind of like, okay, it's okay, all right, okay, we'll do that. There's okay, so there's more. Okay,
Oh, we're doing this now, huh?
yeah. Well, there was some kind of joke on one of the talk shows. There was some kind of joke for Lord of the Rings. Daniel Radcliffe was talking about he was on an award show with Jack Nicholson. And Jack Nicholson was poking fun at the fact that he didn't know how the Lord of the Rings movie ended because he left, because he was like, how many endings is that supposed to have?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember.
So, I mean, he must have had that like same kind of thing where he was like, oh, okay, it's over. And then like stood up and left, not knowing that it was like, oh, okay. So now they got to do,
Yeah.
they got to do, oh, now they got to do the thing. Oh, okay. And,
Well, Jesus Christ, how many endings does it need?
yeah. So
I can't do Nicholson.
It was probably better than anything I got. So
we've gone from ranting about group text to now just talking about movies. But I'm going to keep adding fuel to the fire because.
Well, don't you hate it when people group text you about movies
While you're in the movie?
while you're in? Yeah. I don't know if that ties in or not.
It works, but
trying to make a segue. I don't know.
I got to tell you, the early things I'm reading and the trailer, Top Gun Maverick looks really fucking good.
I'd be intrigued by that.
I follow a few people that were out in LA for the premiere, and they said it was phenomenal.
I can't fucking wait. I mean, it
Nice.
looks good, and when you do some of the behind the scenes on the original, a lot of the fucking plane, the dog fighting in Top Gun and all that is the same shot used several times because they had no fucking clue what they were doing.
Yeah.
There's a whole behind the scenes, and they keep using the same shot. Well, in this one, because of the money and because it was Tom Cruise and everything else, and the technology, the way they shot this is in actual planes, and the actors were in the back seats. So there's a real fucking military pilot in the front doing all this shit, and the actors got a fucking rig in front of them right here while they're doing it, and they're actually, I mean, it's when you see, Tom Cruise with that mask on and the fucking plane looks like it's going upside down, it's because it is, and Tom Cruise is really fighting not to fucking pass out.
Yeah, because Tom Cruise is a fucking nutcase when it comes to doing his own stunts.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
that's
all
true.
the actors are like that, and so I mean that looks like it's gonna be fucking phenomenal. Just a good old fashioned fucking movie romp.
What was it on one of the Mission Impossibles where he jumped across the thing and broke his ankle?
The last one.
Yeah.
And they actually used that shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he actually like climbed up and started running, and you're like, what the no.
Yeah, he started running, and he got a few steps, and then they cut it and brought it in later.
Yeah.
But he actually took that scene around because it became documented, and he took that scene around to all the talk shows, and they actually froze frame and like, see,
Oh, yeah.
your
Oh,
foot's
yeah.
not supposed to bend that way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like, god damn.
He's
I mean,
just
you
being
gotta-
Tom Cruise about it. Like,
I mean, you gotta give the credit where credit's due for that.
straight up.
Yeah. I mean,
Fuck,
his,
if I'd have
his
jumped
ache-
like that, and if I'd have jumped like that and landed, I'd be like, no, somebody pull me up. I gotta go take a nap.
his ankle looked like the homeboy that tried to attack Chappelle's arm.
Oh God.
Oh
It was just-
yeah.
I'm
Oh.
usually squeamish about that kind of stuff. I laughed at that.
Should laugh at that.
dumbass. Fucking, especially with that fucking gun knife that he bought at some 7-Eleven or some shit.
A lot of good at that, huh?
Look,
I
it's
still
a gun.
love-
No, it's a knife.
I still love what Chris Rock did after that.
Was that Will Smith?
'Cause
No,
as
that's
they
what,
were walking-
that's what Chappelle said. But what did Chris Rock do?
Well, no, Chris Rock. That was what Chris Rock said. As they were walking back, he was like, "Was that Will Smith?"
Oh, they
Oh yeah. I'm like, oh, well, good. Poke fun at the jackass.
Well, I told Sean earlier he's going to be in Detroit at the Fox, and I was going to try and see him because they were offering tickets for $25, but he was sold out because I gotta know what he has to say after all that shit.
Oh yeah. Hey.
All right, gentlemen. Well, since we've gone off on 4 tangents and wound up on 20 minutes about movies, let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Try and figure out what we're going to do for the next one. So, before what the hell was that?
I don't know.
Oh, was that on mine? Well, that might have been a motorcycle going by.
Oh, I was about to say at least.
Either
Or I
that-
might have-
either that or Jason farted.
Or I
But say at least mine was like the sound of like a joyous kid,
Or I had Taco Bell for lunch. One of the
Right.
two.
right?
It was one of those two. Either way.
Other than that fart, what do you got for the what the hellions, Jason?
Watch out for the fucking wind. Jesus Christ. It's got my fucking facial features sandblasted off.
Oh
I-
Jesus!
That was so appropriate. Watch out for the wind, especially right after he farts on the air.
What? See, there you go. Watch out for that Taco Bell for lunch, people.
Jason, what do you got for Jason? Yeet.
I was about to say,
And Sean shits the bed.
take two.
Just the- And on that note, TJ, what do you got for the what the hellions?
Well, first off, I have a word of advice for you. Like, I know you're turning 50 soon, but you're already forgetting my fucking name, man.
Right. I need to take that fucking brain shit that what's her face is pimping.
Ginkgo biloba.
Gesundheit.
You're a doofus.
That is
Just
true.
now figuring that out.
That is true.
So, y'all know what I'm going to say. Be good to each other, people. And you want to know how you can be good to me? Don't ever add me to a group text.
I second that. I will also make that request.
Oh man, I thought he was gonna like when he said what you could do for him. I thought he was gonna like do like a GoFundMe thing or something.
Nope.
You know what you can do to support me?
Nope.
Go to all right, never mind.
I support myself by peeling my ass out of bed every morning and going to work.
All right. Well, you done heard, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like and rate and subscribe and tell your friends and all that kind of shit. And tune
be
in
lazy
next
shits.
week. What's that?
Don't be lazy shits.
Don't be lazy shits. And we will see you on the flip side.